Guys, I want to get loud all of a sudden.
Do it.
Sorry, I'm gonna.
It's you. I knew it was coming.
I'm sorry, guys,
Can't
but I
hold 'em
need
back.
to do that.
It is. You feel like Poseidon chucking that bugger down in the water.
Sucking that bugger. Did you butt out that deer?
I did not butt out that deer, but the next one I get,
Okay.
it's getting its butt out.
Is that little Stevie out here in the back?
Drobop. Bow drop, I'm sorry. Drobop. Hello. Stay tuned. I'll be back after my seizure.
Every little chipmunk that was running around, everything's dead quiet, and I went like that. Just happened.
I saw what is in essence a nature-gasm.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Rotten River Pursuits podcast. You're in the Sonic Campfire tonight.
Oh, he just fired that one up.
That was a good one. I'm Steve.
I'm Will.
I'm Ryan.
This is Dave.
We're back in Pennsylvania tonight, guys.
I'm unsure about that whole Sonic Campfire sound effect.
Why?
mean?
I don't
What's
know.
wrong with
We
it?
got to step it up a notch.
Try
love
it
it.
again.
Like that?
Just like a quick burst. Poured a little gas on it. Yeah, that's
Like the quick burst.
better.
I don't know.
I don't know. People,
I digress.
People in California get nervous when the fire gets too big.
Good call.
Yeah.
All right.
Too soon, bud.
But you said, Bud, we're back. We're back in
Happens
Pennsylvania
every
tonight.
year. How is it too soon?
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, it gets dry.
Good
They have a
point.
wildfire.
Yeah. Yes, we're back in Pennsylvania tonight. This time we're really close. We're
Oh, yeah?
Are we?
really close to home.
Yeah.
Well, tell us what's going on, Bud.
Like basically in our backyard.
It's might as well be. We have Grant Forney on the line from PA Outdoors Unlimited, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube page. Grant, how you doing, bud?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Grant, you sound amazing. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys having me on.
We are glad to have you.
So Grant, if you could, before we get into some of the specifics that I know we're going to want to talk to you about, can you give us just that 50,000 foot view? Like, tell us about PA Outdoors Unlimited. What is it you guys are doing?
Yeah, so when I was 14 years old, I started a YouTube channel. That's how it all started. And just came up with the idea of starting a YouTube channel, was kind of watching some other guys on YouTube. I was really into TV shows, and I thought it would be something that would be really cool to do. So I started a YouTube channel and had a bunch of my friends kind of hop on board with me right away. About a year after I started the channel, we started filming hunts, and kind of the rest is history. We've just grown ever since. We film fishing, hunting, everything else outdoors. And yeah, it's been about 8 years. I started when I was 14 and I'm 22 now. So it's been a lot of fun along the way, and made a lot of good memories doing it so far. So
That's amazing, Bud. Because looking at your content, you would never know that you are that young. You know, you have some good content, and that's good on you, man. That's great.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, we really work hard at it. You know, I definitely have a passion for it. I spend a lot of time on it. So yeah, I'm glad you guys like my stuff. That's good to hear.
There's about 10 of you, right?
Yeah. So it kind of started off as my idea, and I have a big group of friends that kind of all jumped on board with me. Yeah, quite a few, like you said, maybe about 10 guys or so. We're really just a great group of friends. I honestly couldn't ask for any better friends. Those guys are awesome. And you know, I was friends with all these guys before all this. You know, we've grown up together and been hunting and fishing together ever since we were, you know, little kids. And it's been fun to grow up with those guys, and I can't thank them enough for how much all those guys have helped me out and supported me and helped me grow. And you know, I kind of like to think of it as us, really, not just myself.
So Grant, the question I always like to ask is, what drives you to want to film, record, and capture these memories in the outdoors?
Yeah, right. So I think when I first started, I think my main reason behind it was probably to show my friends and family and our friends and family our hunts, you know, like our closest friends.
Yeah.
And then from there, I think once we started to grow, the rest of our fans, we saw how much they enjoyed seeing our videos, and from there it just kind of took off. Like I honestly couldn't imagine myself going into the woods anymore without a camera, just because I know I have so many people that want to see us, out there hunting. So, yeah, I think that was the main reason behind it, just to show our friends and family our hunts. And then, now it's kind of turned into like
over 20,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Unless you have a big family.
Yeah, I do. I actually have 5 brothers.
Oh, wow.
No, yeah, not all those followers are my family.
And honestly, I think those numbers are jumping for you like that. Like you said, you started off just share stuff to share with your friends and family, but people started, grabbing a hold of that and wanting more content and following you and making sure they were keeping up. And it's because the realism, that realism comes across. These are good old PA boys just getting stuff done in the outdoors, and people, I think, clamor for that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. People on the internet, they're just looking for just good down to earth content. And I think that's really what we are. We really try to relate to just the average group of friends or the average guy out there that's hunting and fishing. Like you said, we're just a good group of guys from PA, and we've been hunting and fishing, ever since we were young, and we're not hunting like huge farms or anything like that, and we're not killing monster bucks every year. We're just like everybody else out there, just out there for fun. And like you said, I think we really relate to our viewers.
That definitely shows through that you guys have the camaraderie. In your videos, it shows, you guys are out. I really enjoy watching some of your fly fishing videos where it's a bunch of you and you guys are kind of finding some new areas you haven't been, and just the ups and downs of that trip. And, it's great. You really show it through.
Yeah. No, like you said, we get a big group of guys and we go out there fly fishing, and it's kind of funny because usually when we go out there, it's like, it's only a couple guys out there, usually fishing by themselves, maybe one other friend. And then we show up with like 8 guys or something like that. And people kind of look at us like, like we're crazy, but no, it's fun. We have fun out there together. So yeah.
Grant, one of the things that we kind of joke around with each other a lot is if one of us goes out alone somewhere, it doesn't really spread it around.
Dear Lord,
that someone
maybe like a sneaky trip.
Yeah, like a sneaky
trip.
Like a guy that has.
I don't know what you guys are talking about at
multiple seaworthy vessels with and just kind of just jumps on them whenever.
Yeah, so let's say one guy in your group has lots of boats and kind of gets out every once in a while without letting anybody else know.
Do you have that problem? Has
that ever come up?
I don't know if we have anyone that gets out without letting us know. Usually we know if they're out.
Oh, you got a good group then.
Yeah.
I mean, we honestly, we do most of our stuff we're doing, we're always with somebody almost. For me, like, it's hard for me to even go out fishing by myself, honestly. Like, it's just not quite the same. I just have so much more fun when I'm with the other guys. And same thing hunting too. I mean, I'll hunt by myself if I have to. Like if I'm hunting for a big buck or something and I know I got to get after him, I'll go out there by myself, but I'd much rather be out there with somebody. I think it's a lot more fun spending time in the woods or out on the water with your friends.
So the follow-up to that question, and you answered the first part perfectly. What are the guys going to do with your 7 new best friends that you have here at the R2 podcast?
Good follow-up. I like that question.
I think they're all going to want to be on a podcast episode of their own. Probably.
That's cool.
But we like to say that literally you get 7 new best friends when you have your own episode and you join us.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you know how to manage everybody kind of gets their time and you have it sounds like a really good group, in all honesty.
Yeah, no, we do.
Very tight.
I really have an awesome group of friends. I'm really thankful for them, for better friends, and we just have an awesome time together. So it's been so much fun growing up with those guys.
So who were your biggest influencers getting you into hunting, Grant?
Getting me into hunting in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad started me in hunting. He was definitely probably my biggest influencer. Like when I was too young to hunt, like growing up, I remember he would always go up to the cabin deer hunting with a couple of his friends, and I used to always call him wondering, how it's going. I just couldn't wait till I was old enough to go, and he always took me fishing from a young age too, and then once I was 12, he took me out deer hunting for the first time, and I shot a deer on my first ever hunt with my dad. So
What?
Dear
I
Lord.
think, yeah, shot a deer within like the first hour and a half of hunting.
It's probably a
My
drop
first
time,
year.
drop time
No.
velvet buck.
No, it was just a doe. It was a doe in the youth rifle hunt they have here
Yeah.
in October. That's when I got my first deer.
It wasn't just a doe though. That was your
That's-
first.
Yeah, no, that
Big.
was my first deer.
That
Exactly,
was
yeah.
That's
and
everybody.
More than a doe, yeah.
You probably
Yeah, no,
remember
I
every
think that-
detail of that too. I would
Yeah,
imagine,
no,
right?
I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. It was a fun hunt. That hunt definitely, I think, lit a fire inside of me that's never gone out ever since.
Now, did you get that speech from your dad then right after that happened, that this isn't how it always is going to be?
Yeah, no, I think I remember him telling me that. And I kind of knew that too. I was like, I know this isn't going to happen every time. I almost couldn't believe it. Like when I went out there the first time, I kind of had this image in my mind that like, it's like a huge deal to, to shoot a deer, and people hardly ever, I thought it was going to be like way harder than it was. And then, within an hour and a half, I have one on the ground, and I was kind of in shock, honestly. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome. So, skipping forward a little bit, tell us about the group and or what you guys focus on. I mean, there's 10 guys. Obviously, you probably have your own little pockets of interest.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We, to be honest, we've done a little bit of everything. We've done waterfowl hunting and almost anything that you could think of that guys do here in PA. We've probably done it at least once. But to get to your question, like what we focus on, our biggest thing is definitely all fall we're deer hunting. And then in the spring, our main thing is fly fishing for trout. In the summer, we do a little bit of a decent amount of bass fishing. A lot of like right now we're getting ready for deer season. So
What are you guys doing about the river? I mean, it's just been miserable.
yeah, no, I know. I was actually supposed to be fishing there this weekend, but obviously that's not happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a whole lot of smallmouth fishing this year, but
You were just up north on a trip, right? Up in New York.
yeah,
Right
I was.
outside
Yep.
New York?
I was fishing up in Oswego, New York. My dad and my brothers did a guided wading trip for smallmouth on the Salmon River, actually.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. Which until we did that trip, I didn't realize that there were smallmouth in the Salmon River. I kind of just,
I'm going to
I'd only
kill my
heard of it.
guidance
Yeah.
counselor.
but
You
yeah,
should have
there's,
told me about
there's some
that.
decent smallmouth fishing on that river. It wasn't like amazing. It wasn't great, but we caught fish.
Does it even compare to the Susquehanna?
Probably not. No, it's,
I'm not going.
it's not quite. Yeah, it's not quite like the Susquehanna, but
Yeah, but it was first cast fish, second cast fish. I mean,
Yeah,
there were numbers there though.
first thing in the morning, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty hot that day. Once the sun got up and it got warm, I think it slowed down a little bit. But you're right. First thing in the morning, it was pretty good.
It's tough to beat this. That's probably not a fair yardstick there comparing something to the Susquehanna for
Yeah.
When you wet
So
wade,
you can
there's
this
just
year.
something about it. Like I love wet wading for smallmouth bass. There's just
Right.
there's nothing that compares
Mm-hmm.
in my book, anyways. But it's
Yeah,
just
I like it too.
it's just so cool.
I love smallmouth in general. I mean, smallmouth and trout are my favorite things to fish for. I get to fish for trout a little bit more than I do smallmouth, but it's hard to beat smallmouth, honestly. I was up in Maine last summer. I've done several trips over the past 10 years or so for smallmouth. Our dad takes us on trips sometimes. I mean, I've been to Canada a couple times. I've been to Maine twice, I think, and fishing the Susquehanna some, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, I love smallmouth fishing.
Where were you in Canada?
So in Canada, I've been to the French River one time, and I've fished the Ottawa River one time. I'm trying to think. I think that was it. I fished a couple lakes up there too. And it's pretty good up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maine is awesome too. Maine last summer was a
I
blast.
never would have thought Maine for smallmouth. That's
not
awesome.
at all. Where at in Maine?
Maine is.
Can you tell us?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. It was like, I guess, northeastern part of Maine, like not along the coast. We were actually real close to the Canadian border where we were on a big like lake system.
Right.
And
all I can imagine is really clear water.
Yeah.
It was interesting. The lake we were on last summer, we were there, I think, week of July 4th last summer. But anyways, the lake we were on, it was basically an old flooded forest. So there were these huge trees sticking up out of the water, like stumps everywhere from the old forest that had been flooded into this lake now. And there were weeds everywhere. Like it looked like all largemouth habitat, but it was just, I mean, it was, and there were some largemouth in there, but it was full of smallmouth, full of them. I mean, we caught a lot of fish that week. That was a lot of fun.
I love fishing stumps. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time. We lost some lures on the stumps, but but that was all right.
It's just power for the course, man.
Yeah.
You gotta give some away to the fishing gods.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So was the water clear, or did it have like that? Was it tannic or what? The brown?
Yeah, I don't remember it being too clear.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't remember real well actually, but I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it being real clear.
Very cool.
But he remembers there was fish in it. So.
Right on.
Yeah. Yep.
Right on.
Did you smack any pike while you're up there too? I'd think some pike would be in that water.
There's plenty of pike up in Canada. Where we were in Maine, the lake we were on, there weren't pike, but there were a lot of pickerel. We caught a lot of pickerel in that lake.
Oh, they're still fun though.
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, there were some big ones in there too.
I don't understand how there's pickerel in some lakes, but not northerns. Like what?
Yeah, I don't know either.
Like what makes a habitat so special for pickerel? But
I'm not sure. You'd think they'd be in the same places. But,
yeah, you would. I don't.
But yeah, no. For some reason, the lake we were on only had pickerel.
You digress.
I digressed there a little bit. I'm sorry, Grant.
I'm sorry, I did too, because this summer I caught my first pike, or this year I caught my first pike, and now it's just on the brain.
That's all you think about.
I'm thinking like you talk about northern waters, and my mind, you guys are talking about smallmouth, but my mind's the pike. So
yeah,
and they were healthy pike too.
Oh, they were a healthy pike that we got on. So we know a place. We can talk afterwards. We'll put you onto that.
Yeah, no, I like pike too. I've caught a few of them, and they're fun. Never caught a muskie though. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, me either.
Steve's the muskie king of the group.
Oh yeah. I'm leading the group in muskies.
You caught one.
Yeah.
Hey, how
one to
many did you
nothing.
catch last year? But
Last year's it's an unfair question. Like my all time.
no,
I
this
think I
is
have more
the
than
contest started last year.
So is it true that it takes 10,000 casts to get them?
I was not muskie fishing.
He has a counter on his hip.
Once I get around 9,500, I start getting ready.
He switches, puts the steel leader on.
Yeah.
No, I was bass fishing when we caught it, but
Okay.
but that was in the river. That was just waiting, in the Susquehanna last year, right
That's
around this time too. So, but no, I don't think we'll be in there anytime within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, probably not.
I drove across tonight, and it was just
That's
nothing
a
but
mess.
dark chocolate milk.
Yeah.
It was dark. It was bad.
Yeah, I drove across today too. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. Hey, Grant, I saw a video, a pretty recent video of yours, where you almost stepped on or got close to a rattlesnake.
Yep.
And what on earth were you doing near a big? That was not a small rattlesnake either.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not small. I was out scouting for deer. I was up at where I do most of my hunting up in north central PA. My family has some private land that we hunt on. And then there's also a big piece of public land just down the road that I really haven't hunted a lot in the past, but I kind of want to start checking it out, scouting, putting some cameras out just to see what kind of hunting might be up there. And so anyways, I was in there for the first time this summer, first time in a while actually, and went like hiking way up the mountain, came out, and me and my brother were on the way back down, almost back to the truck. There's like a field next to the parking lot.
Yeah.
And we just came into the field, and it was like the field was like it was grass, like maybe knee high, maybe not quite knee high, but it was like maybe a foot high grass, but it wasn't real thick. Luckily, like it wasn't thick enough. Like I could see into it. Like if you were watching where you were walking, you could see the ground like easy. And luckily I was looking down while I was walking, because I mean, we basically just came into the field, and I was looking down, and I saw the body of this thing. Like I couldn't see, the head was like in thicker grass and the tail was in thicker grass, like the rattle. But like the main part of its body was just like right there in front of me, like 2 yards in front of me, and it never rattled or anything.
That was going to be my question.
If I wasn't looking down, I would have stepped right over it.
No warning.
Or either on it or right over it.
Dang
and so like my brother was behind me, and as soon as I saw it, I knew it was a rattlesnake obviously right away. I've seen enough videos of them and everything. That was the first one I've ever actually seen out in the wild, but I mean, I knew right away what it was. So I was like, and I told my brother, I was like, stop, like, don't move. And so I was like trying to see, where this thing's head was.
Did you see the head?
I mean, I never did see the head. Eventually I saw its rattle, but I never did see the head. It was like in the grass thick enough that I couldn't see it. And I didn't want to go any closer to try to see it, obviously.
Yeah. Don't blame you for that.
But yeah, no, we just stopped right where we were. And the first thing I was doing was looking for more. I was making sure we weren't like surrounded by them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was making sure we didn't walk right into the middle of like 3 or 4. Cause I've seen videos of guys hunting them right here in PA. And there's, to be honest, I think there's a lot more than people think of those timber rattlers up there in that part of the state.
I would have been
from what I hear, the population is doing pretty well. And I mean, I've seen videos of guys where they find multiple in one spot. So I was just making sure we weren't, having more around us. So, but no, that was the only one there that we could see. So we just watched it for a few minutes. It wasn't really moving for a while. And then eventually it did slowly start moving off, and I got to look at its rattle. So, I mean, it was cool, but, scary there for a little bit when I first saw it.
I would have been hysterical.
Oh boy.
I like what you did there, bud.
What would I do?
Oh,
What?
We just talked to a guy here a couple weeks ago that had tried hunting rattlesnakes a few times and actually got 52-inch one. I think he took.
That's huge.
Yeah. No thanks.
Do you? So you guys?
Yeah, that's not for me either.
You guys don't hunt them?
No, we've never done that, and I probably don't plan on it. But no, I've watched videos of guys doing that. I don't know if you guys watch Leatherwood Outdoors at all. I've watched them ever since I was a kid.
yeah, they're great.
And they're a huge channel. John Royer and the rest of those guys. That's one of the channels that I was watching when I was a kid, and kind of I kind of looked up to them and thought it'd be really cool to start a channel like them. I watched a lot of guys on YouTube, but they were the one of the ones that really stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know those guys do a good bit of rattlesnake hunting. So that's kind of how I've seen the videos and how I keep up with how many are around.
I think it's a funny thing. I brought it up with Bo Martonic and the guy that we had on the show talking about it. And I reach out to a lot of people, and I have way more yeses than I ever have no's. But I can honestly tell you, Bo is like a freak kind of thing, because he's promoting his podcast. We got him to talk about the rattlesnake hunt, but some of the people that I reached out to that actually do the rattlesnake hunting, nothing. It's like radio.
They're very tight-lipped about it.
Very secretive thing.
They won't. I just can't get. I don't know if it's just circumstance or what, but I can't get people to talk about.
They don't want to share. They don't want to share anything about it. It seems like
spot burning is a big thing in the rattlesnake hunting community.
I guess.
But I know there's a good bit of it that goes on around where my cabin is upstate, and that's specifically why I decided to, take the family out and hunt along Pine Swamp Road. I stayed away from the big rock outcrops and all that stuff. I went into the swampy, marshy areas because it's less likely to be full of the rattlesnake.
Oh yeah, because that's better.
Well, it's better for rattlesnakes.
I'd say rattlesnakes, but you have like more snake sightings than anybody we have here.
Well, just not rattlesnakes. I'll deal with the other stuff up there.
All right. Bless your heart.
So fly fishing. Let's talk about that for a few minutes. We don't.
Yeah.
Lately, we haven't. It's been a while since we've talked to anybody that was hardcore fly fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
But what you got going on there?
Yeah, I mean, I've been fly fishing ever since I was a kid. My dad taught me how to do it, and he took me and all my brothers out. Just like deer hunting, started mainly up at our cabin in north central PA, and around here a little bit too. We do some fly fishing, but yeah, we like to go to central PA, north central PA. There's some really good streams in that area, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it.
What's your favorite?
Most of my guys. What's that?
What's your favorite stream in central PA?
My favorite stream to fish is Pine Creek.
That was going to be my guess when you were saying Central PA.
Where's Pine Creek?
That's like a state college area, right?
Oh, yeah.
Pine Creek starts in Potter County and starts somewhere in Potter. I forget exactly where. And then flows east through into Tioga and then makes a big bend and comes south like the whole way down through Tioga, down through the PA Grand Canyon, and then into Lycoming County.
Oh, you couldn't have been more wrong, Deke.
Yeah, I was really wrong.
Deke's thinking
on
of
that
Penns Creek.
That's what I was thinking about.
Someone's going to write an article.
Pine Creek flows into the Susquehanna then, like, I'm going to say like maybe 30 minutes west of Williamsport.
Okay. I got you.
Yep. Yeah, that's probably my favorite stream. We do pretty long. It's a pretty long creek, obviously. We do most of our fishing on it there in Tioga County.
That's where a lot of your videos are placed,
a lot of
right?
our videos are from there, yeah.
Well, that's a beautiful
area.
area.
Around the Grand Canyon some. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I love that stream. And then, like you said, Central PA too, like around State College, we fish Penns Creek some. I've fished the Little Juniata. The Little Juniata is awesome. That's loaded with fish. Spring Creek, same thing. That's loaded with fish. That's a great stream to fish. And we have a few streams down here that we like to fly fish too.
So you're still fly fishing in the summer then?
Yeah, a little bit. Mainly it's the main time is from like I would say mid to late April all the way through like late June, like prime time. Like that whole stretch, we're going at it pretty hard. Like we're getting out there as much as we can. My favorite time, like my favorite couple weeks is like from the end of May to like mid June. That's like the best couple weeks. But no, yeah, we fish anytime from like late April to the end of June, and you can fish in July. There's good fishing into July. We don't get out as much once July hits, just with other stuff going on. We're bass fishing a little bit and starting to get things ready for deer season. So,
do you ever use those fly rods on the smallmouth?
No, I have not fly fished for smallmouth a whole lot. A couple times here and there, but
I was just thinking about that. That'd be an awesome combination,
Yeah.
Do you tie your own flies, Grant?
I do not, but one of my guys does. He's been into that ever since he was young, and he ties some for us, and yeah, he enjoys it.
How does he have time?
I don't know. I guess he just loves it enough that he has time for it. But
Grant's in my camp. I do the same thing. I rely on my buddies a lot.
I've got people for that.
I either buy my flies or he he ties them for me and I use his. But yeah, no, I never got too into the fly tying. I guess I just
you do enough.
Didn't want to take the time for it.
No, don't apologize.
Yeah,
it's definitely a labor of love. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You take care of them too.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. I'm sure it's satisfying though to catch fish on flies that you tied yourself. I'm sure there's kind of like a different feel to that. But
it's the same exact thing, dude.
I really feel like Will's inner monologue is coming out right now. Like
the Ziz doesn't sound any different.
That Will says to himself to make himself feel better. Now he's using it on you.
No,
I love it.
I know. I mean, we're just relating so much.
I love it.
I caught the first golden rainbow I ever caught. I caught it on a fly that I tied.
It's a palomino.
And
here we go.
Palomino or golden rainbow.
The first golden rainbow I ever caught was on a fly that I tied myself, and that was on a very terribly tied egg pattern.
Is that really a fly though, bud? Here,
Can
you? How would you end this debate for us, Grant?
Here we go.
Fly.
Is an egg pattern really a fly?
Yes.
I mean,
It's not in the name.
He doesn't even tie.
It's a
How's he
fly.
going to weigh in?
It doesn't have to be a fly. A streamer's not a fly, and it's a fly.
But you just said it's an egg.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
Sorry to put you in that position, but we can move
I
on.
would call it a fly.
Okay.
Oh,
Deke loses.
Deke, you're 0 for 3 now.
It's an arts and crafts project glued to a hook.
So, Grant, you mentioned a little bit ago that you guys were starting to get ready for deer season.
Yep. Yeah, big time.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's an exciting time of the year. Like I said, I'm trying to get a little bit more into the public land hunting this year. In the past, I've done most of my hunting on my family's private land up there in north central PA. One of my other guys, his family has some property out in Bedford County that we hunt at a good bit.
You shut your mouth.
We do. What's that?
I said, you shut your mouth. We got to. That's where we grew up. That's where
Bedford.
Yeah. A lot of our properties and stuff like that are back there. And
cool.
And
we're out there some.
Yeah.
You ever
That's good.
fish
That's
Yellow
good
Creek
hunting out
back there?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
We fish yellow.
No kidding.
Yep.
Well, we could.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We might be related.
We're probably related.
Maybe.
No.
But yeah, no, we do some hunting out there, some up in north central PA. And this year, I don't know if I told you guys yet, but I'm trying to get into hunting down in Maryland on some public land down there. They have some long seasons down there. They open in 3 weeks from tomorrow.
yes, they do. Be careful,
September
bud.
7th.
Be careful. It's addicting. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a couple years, and it's
Why
just
is it addicting?
In Maryland?
yeah. I've been hunting Maryland for probably 4 or 5 years now, and the reason it's addicting.
How is it?
I love it, and I do all public land down there. But
Yeah.
it's just the reason it's addicting is the seasons never go out.
Yeah, it opens and then
Yeah,
doesn't
there's never
close.
a break. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
So I mean,
Yeah.
you hunt archery the Friday before firearm season's open on a Saturday.
So, how many
Yep.
deer you've killed? How many years have you been hunting in Maryland?
Been hunting about 4 or
This'll-
5 for me.
For
Okay.
Dave, and you've killed a deer probably every year down there.
Yeah.
at
17.
least one.
No, I think at least one a season.
But like,
Okay.
it's public land, and
That's why it's addicting.
do we know anything about it? Like, I didn't know.
How are the deer numbers?
The deer numbers are
Quite a few deer.
there's quite a few deer.
It's probably because he doesn't invite his friends.
That's probably what it is.
Do you see any nice deer? Any nice bucks?
You can. You definitely there's nice deer harvested every year off of public land down there. Private lands can be even better. So you'll have a good
Right.
time. You'll definitely have a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was actually down there scouting earlier today, scouting out a new spot. I've checked out 2 different spots down there, both public land, and got some cameras out down there. Already have a couple decent bucks on camera. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm planning on being down there opening weekend. So
Yeah, it'll get hot, but September hunting's neat. It is warm. Take anything you can get rid of mosquitoes with. So like your
yeah.
what's
Thermacell.
that? Thermacell. Yeah, use a
Yeah.
Thermacell. You'll love
Yep.
that.
Yeah, I got them ready. Yeah, I have them. So hopefully I'll be good. But yeah, like you guys said, the season never closes, which I kind of like. And it opens earlier. I can get 3 weeks of hunting in down there before PA even opens. And then once PA closes, like that second week of November, I can head down there and catch some of the rut down there after PA's done. So that'll be cool. And then obviously late season too, it goes later than PA yet. So
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
their deer season's nearly 5 months down there, so there's quite a bit of opportunity.
That sounds wonderful.
Grant, we just had a later arrival.
What?
Yeah, our buddy Catfish was able to make it after a
What's up, bud?
terribly long day at work.
There he is.
Cool.
What's up, Grant?
What's going on, man?
Long day at work, that's all.
Grant's our new friend. He's like in our backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
So,
I've looked through some of his IG account. It's pretty impressive.
yeah.
Yeah.
He likes the fly fish though, bud.
Oh, I didn't. You had to bring it up. I wasn't going to bring it up.
Catfish is our local expert on fly fishing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When he'll do that when he gets older.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that kid at school that stood out because he had a mohawk and like wrote on his pants with Sharpie markers. He was too cool to be cool. He was punk before punk was cool.
Too cool.
That's how fly fishermen stand out to me on the river. They're too cool to be cool.
We just lost half our listeners.
Good.
No.
Good.
Don't say good.
I think that it's a true art form.
Get them back. Somebody, get them back.
As far as fishing goes, I think it's pretty amazing sport. I just have never. I guess it's only because I got a bunch of people that do fly fishing around me, and I couldn't ever stand. I couldn't even stand toe to toe with any of their talents. So I do other things.
Is that the case?
That's it.
Welcome back, fly fisherman.
I have true respect for your passion. I just don't want to do it.
Well,
yet
Grant just does whatever his buddies do, so I'm cool with that.
If I tied flies, they'd be like 4 inches long and have like Twinkies tied to them.
That'd probably work.
Yeah, muskie flies.
Yeah,
muskies love Twinkies.
That's what I heard.
You just don't know it.
The Twinkie pattern. Is that a fly though?
Is that a true fly?
Sounds like a Twinkie.
Anyhow, Grant, never mind.
Sorry.
So
welcome catfishing.
Yeah.
So Grant, what are you guys doing preparing for Pennsylvania opener, for Maryland opener? Anything exciting?
So in Maryland, I've been spending a lot of time just down there scouting, getting to know the spots, just because this is my first year there. So I've been down there probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times now this summer. Down there, just scouting spots to hunt, putting out cameras, going back down to check cameras. So I've been doing that a lot in Maryland, but even with all that scouting I'm doing, it's still going to be a learning experience when I start hunting down there. I'm sure I'm going to change things on the fly during the season and just kind of learn as I go. And up in PA, I just planted my food plots last weekend. I got two brassica plots in on our private land up there. So that took a lot of work. I was hanging stands over the summer, so that took a good bit of time, and I've been running trail cams up there too. I'm hunting a really big deer up there this year. It's a deer that I've had pictures of for I think 4 years now.
Wow.
It's yeah. I don't know if you guys saw the picture on our Instagram, but yeah, I first saw that deer in 2014, and I mean it was a monster back then. I'm fairly certain that it's an 8-year-old deer. It's at least 7 minimum, but I'm fairly certain it's an 8-year-old buck that we've had pictures of since 2014. Never saw it during hunting season.
He's been on there as long as you've been on YouTube.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, there was we had pictures of him for a couple years, and then he disappeared for like a year and a half, and I thought he was dead. And then all of a sudden last fall he showed up out of nowhere, and we had like these beautiful pictures of him for like 2 weeks straight in our food plot right before archery started. It was, great pictures of him. And then he disappeared he disappeared from then until now. He just now showed back up the end of July 28th, I think, was the first picture I had of him.
That's how he got to be.
It was him.
Yeah, that's how he got to be about 8 years old.
Yeah.
Well, where would he go for a year and a half?
I know exactly. That's what I'm
can't
wondering.
tell you.
No idea where he goes. But yeah, he's a giant, and it's just crazy. There's no consistency to him whatsoever. He shows up for a couple weeks and then he disappears for a year. And then, we've had a few pictures of him in the rut a couple years here and there, a few pictures early season. And I have one shed from it, but there's just no consistency to him whatsoever. I can't figure him out, but
have you seen him?
I like this buck.
Have you seen him this year on the trail cams yet? Did you say that or not?
Yeah. We have pictures of him this year. Yep. He showed up on the 28th of July. So we've had pictures of him for about the past 2 weeks.
What's his name?
Bambi. His name's Bambi.
Nice.
Yep.
Everybody's got a name for there, so it's good.
He was a monster last year, and then he kind of grew some extra trash this year. He's got a drop tine on one side, and to be honest, it's hard to even tell what he is. He's got a whole bunch of trash going on his brow tines, and he's got a split G3 on one side. It's a crazy looking deer.
G3
for sure.
You stop it.
Yeah.
That's got to be killing you. Like that,
oh yeah,
it's just killing you, dude. See him 3 weeks ago, and
that's not real in PA.
No. So what happened last year? I'll have to send you guys pictures of this deer. What happened last year is we had pictures of him. for like a 2-week stretch in September, just about every night he was coming into a food plot. And I would say out of those 2 weeks, I would say maybe half of those days were in daylight, like good daylight, like half an hour to 45 minutes left of daylight. And then on September 22nd was the last picture we got of him, which obviously that's like a week before season. And then he was literally gone from September 22nd. Never had a picture of him the rest of the fall. Didn't have a picture of him. I didn't know he was alive until he just showed back up 2 weeks ago.
Do you think deer learn? Like, do you think they can learn when hunting season starts?
Well, sure, they talk to each other. They tell each other, "Hey, man, it's deer season next year. Well, I'm going to go lay down in the thicket for a couple weeks."
They text.
They have messenger.
They engorge themselves, and then they go just sleep on the couch.
Hibernate.
It's definitely it's definitely something that happens, and I learned that lesson here recently and tried to put some changes in place.
Yeah,
because it's the pressure. Like just like we were saying, now's the time to start prepping for deer season, and he was out hanging stands and putting food plots out. That deer see the activity in the woods pick up. The change of the weather comes along with it all, and of course the rut will change everything, but they notice the pressure and the activity in the woods that changes.
So he might not realize he's being hunted, but he knows
something's up that he doesn't really care for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I fully believe that too, which is going to make him almost impossible to ever kill. But I don't know. It's cool. It's cool to just know that there's a deer like that out there and alive.
So,
I mean, that's in my area.
So you got this. You got this, bud.
Would you ever, in light of that, would you ever just not go to that area at all until the first day of?
That's a lot of people. Once they get it squared away, they shut her down.
But
well, yeah, that's what I do. Like once, I mean, I don't take it so. Like I pretty much have to plant food plots. Like I just want to so bad. Like I got to get stands up and stuff. But like once I have done what I need done, like I'm gonna stay out of there. Like I'm probably gonna be back there this weekend, and then after that, I won't be back there till the first day of archery. So that's like I guess that'll be 6 weeks.
Perfect.
And I mean even in general, like all year round, I try to stay out of bedding areas as best I can. Where I think, the majority of our deer are living. I try to not penetrate those areas more than I have to. I hang some stands in there, and then once I get stands up, I try to stay out of there all year long until the rut.
Well, that's that small time frame where you go to all the adjacent neighboring properties and run around and pee on everything.
Yeah. Make all the deer come to you.
Exactly. I'm not saying we do that, but
it's so much pressure.
So let me.
That's a horrible way. It's a horrible way to get a buck. Is just ruin everybody else's day.
I don't, but as much as that's a joke, like I don't know how much it matters in PA. I think they're just used to all the pressure anyway.
Yeah.
Pee wherever you want.
Yeah.
Well,
no, that deer is he's pretty crazy. Like
he's smart.
He's smart for sure. Like like I said, he disappeared on the end of September, right before archery, and we had no pictures. Out of all these years, I've never had a picture of the deer in October. Never one picture. A few in the rut here and there in November, but never October. But anyways, just having those 2 weeks worth of pictures in September was enough for me to still hold out for him the whole season. Like I passed up a decent buck in the rut just trying to hunt for that deer, even though we hadn't had a picture of it since September. I was just hoping that he was in there, and I just wasn't getting pictures of him. And I mean, just going off just by a slight chance that maybe he'd come through, I was holding out for him. But
that's where being a pressure player comes in handy. I mean, you've been waiting for so long that the anticipation's been building, and you get up near tree stand, and that night you're not expecting to see him, because now you're not expecting to see this buck. You know he's there. You've been waiting for years, but you're not expecting to actually see this buck. You have high hopes somewhere that he'll show up, but you don't really think he will. But when you're actually staring down the pipe through that peep sight, being a good archer and being a good pressure player comes in handy. But I don't care how long you've done it. If your knee's not sewing machine shaking, I think you're going to fall out of your tree stand if you arrow
jackhammer that tree stand right off the tree.
If he arrows this buck, I think the whole world will know about it, because it'll be in the newspaper. Guy falls out of tree stand.
Yeah, you probably should get some foam, extra thick foam, and then a layer of carpet.
Stick a mattress underneath it.
Under my stand.
Just put a big pile of leaves underneath your tree stand.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like on your stand itself. That way, you know, what I mean, like
I'll just give him the chance to at least land. You know?
and pack like extra underwear. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna soil yourself. You see that?
You got to have the glove compartment underwear when you hunt.
For the trophy picks.
For the trophy picks, yeah. You always want clean underwear during the trophy picks.
Seeing a certain deer's one thing. Seeing it through the peep sight, you know, even if it doesn't happen, you got that.
Yeah.
You got that close.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you guys are right. We joke around about that all the time. Like, if I ever get that deer to come in, like, I mean, I don't know how I'm going to handle it. I mean, it's going to be, it's going to take a lot.
You'll be a
of work
mess.
To stay,
I don't want to be
composed,
a
but
mess.
I know
You'll
I'll be
be
a mess.
fine.
I know I will.
You'll be fine.
No, you'll be a mess after you connect.
Oh,
That's when
man.
you'll fall apart. You'll be a brick wall until you release that arrow and you watch it blow through them.
How many years have you been hunting him, Grant?
You hope.
4 years. Well, let me think. I guess this would be the 5th year that he would be around. I mean, I haven't like exclusively hunted him every year. Last year, I guess you could say I was exclusively hunting him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I killed a decent buck like that year that he was gone, like that year and a half that we didn't have pictures. That was the year that I killed a different buck. So I mean, I haven't exclusively hunted him every year, but he's been around since 2014. The first time I like saw that deer was the summer of 2014. So this, I guess, would be the fifth hunting season.
I can't imagine tracking something for 5 years.
Yeah, no, I never would have thought that I would
talk about a trophy. You know.
So, yeah, I know. Yeah, just that fact alone is what's more cool to me than you know what he scores or you know how big his antlers are or whatever.
That's just not something that happens in PA.
It's a deer 10,000 sits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
10,000 sits.
I have never.
That's like what I was trying to
seen a drop tine in my life in the wild.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
Right.
Not hunt. I've never seen one in hunting season.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. I was trying to explain that, like, just how special of a deer that is. I was trying to explain that to my viewers last year, like, just telling them that's kind of why I'm only going after that buck. I was passing up a couple other deer, and I was, you know, telling everybody, like, look, I can shoot these decent buck, you know, in, you know, a couple years down the road when I don't have a deer this big to hunt. But I was like, if there's a deer this big around, I gotta try to hunt him because you just don't get a chance to hunt a deer that big that often.
That's such a quandary to be in. Well, when you know there's a deer like that around and you see something come in, you know, see a shooter deer come in. How do you that? I don't know, the conversation you have with yourself.
Yeah, it's
at
tough.
that moment. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
I can tell you we can't say it on this podcast. There's way too many bad words.
Yeah.
Well, if I could, I would like to switch it up here just a little bit because
Switch her up.
I need to ask the question a little bit about your tactics and your approach here because
I'm not a fan of your tactics.
Well, let's just see. You talked about how you've got your stands hung and you're going to stay out of there. Probably give that boy about 6 weeks of quiet time. But you're already planning and anticipating doing a little bit, for lack of a better term, running and gunning down in Maryland. You know, you're going into this thing pretty green. Yep. You've scouted some areas. Maybe you marked some stand locations, whether that be on a GPS or your phone, or maybe you put some ribbons in the tree. Whatever you're doing, what kind of setups are you planning to hunt out of in September when you're down there in Maryland?
Yeah, mainly what I've scouted so far, at least how I'm going to approach it here in the early season, is I'm hunting trails leading into Oak Flats, where I think the deer are going to be feeding on acorns in the early season like that. That's how I'm going at it right now, and I think that's what I'm going to try those first couple weekends and just see how it goes. My one spot, there's an Oak Flat up real tight to a bedding area. So I think it's going to be a little risky trying to get in there without bumping deer, but I think I'll be able to do it. So I think that spot could be pretty good. And then a couple other spots, like I said, I got trails going from bedding areas to Oak Flats where I think the deer are going to be in the evening. So yeah, I'm going to give that a try and we'll see how that goes down there.
And then as far as equipment, right? You're not pre-hanging stands. Are you carrying stuff in on your back, climbers, hang-ons? What are we talking about?
Yeah, public land. I'm gonna be hunting with a climber. down there. I'm not going to be setting stands ahead of time or using hang-ons. I'm just going to be going in with a climber.
Could you hang stands down there if you wanted?
To be honest, I think it depends on what piece.
Yeah,
I think it depends on. There's different rules for where you are.
Yeah.
I think the one spot I'm in, you have to take your stands down at the end of every day. You can't leave them up for the season. Whereas, like I know here in PA, I think the rule is you're allowed to now stands on public land like a month before the season, and you have to take them down a month after. Is that right?
That's on state game land.
And you also have to put your license identification number on it.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
That just started recently.
But you are right with Maryland. There's, unlike PA, there's multiple. There's different types of public land in Maryland.
Yep.
So it's not all like, okay.
Do tell.
It's not like Pennsylvania. It's just game land. And then like we use the same word, game land, for state forest.
Okay.
But there it's some different government bodies regulating how that piece of public land is used.
Do they charge you to go on
It depends.
game lands to hunt like they do to fish?
There's
in
a couple
state
spots.
park?
Yeah, there's some spots where you gotta buy permits to go on it.
You gotta be
There's
kidding
spots.
me.
There's spots that are bow only.
Wow.
There's spots that are like only open certain days of the week.
Now, real quick, is this?
So it's kind of different everywhere you go.
Is this just you that's going? Is anybody going with you?
No, he has a whole whack of dudes.
There's a few of us. Not the whole crew is going to hunt down there. There's a few of us that are going to try it. Like right now, I think I'm the only one that actually bought my license yet. So like for the first couple weekends, I'm probably going to be hunting and I'll have somebody with me to film. And then I think some of the other guys are going to decide if they want to buy licenses down there based on
how
based
good
on what
you
I'm
do.
seeing.
They're going to short drift you.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to use me as the.
I do that every. I do that every time we go fishing.
It definitely won't be all of us.
Every time we go fishing, I sit back and drink a Monster and eat a whatchamacallit till somebody catches a fish, and that's what I tie on.
And then you start. Yeah. No, that's kind of what some of them are doing, I guess, with me. But
smart
but
guys.
Right. No, I'm looking. Yeah, they are. Yep. So yeah, no, it won't be quite all of us down there, but it'll be a couple of us.
So when you guys, I'm going to jump forward a little bit more and tell us about like the structure. Like how do you get the videos done? Who does the editing and how do you choose who films and just a little bit of the inside.
Right. So as far as editing, I've done all the editing so far. So I have a few other guys that film. They'll film me. I film the other guys too. We kind of take turns a lot, and it's not quite the whole crew that's done filming. I mean, it's usually me and a couple of the other guys filming the other guys. But yeah, as far as editing, I do all of that, and it's some work, but I enjoy it. So
cool.
But yeah,
what do you use? Can you say?
I use Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Is that what we use?
No.
Yeah.
No, we have all Apple stuff.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to go out there together in pairs and hunt and film, and it is kind of a struggle. Sometimes you got to decide who's hunting and who's filming, but a lot of times it depends on what kind of season we're having, like who's killed deer already and who hasn't, and we kind of consider all things like who can get out.
I'll tell you what,
next week or whatever, but we like it.
Yeah, we'll jump back to Maryland. How about, I don't know, it's such a good idea that you guys go down there. What happens is the guy that does all your filming hunts in Maryland too, so he tags out in PA, but he's still got 17 more tags down in Maryland.
Yeah.
It's not the same. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
He's not speaking from experience at all.
I don't know anything about that.
Didn't sound like a really specific example.
So I don't know, man.
But no, you're right. We're never gonna run out of tags. Like, I mean, there's just like, I think like it's like 35 doe tags and 3 buck tags for Maryland.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of crazy.
Like,
yeah.
One
Yeah,
person can kill 35
You
doe.
get like 10 for archery,
like,
10 for muzzleloader, 10 for firearm.
It's 15 archery and then 10 muzzleloader, 10 rifle, and then it's 2 buck tags, and then you can purchase an extra buck tag, but you have to shoot at least 2 does before you use that 3rd buck tag.
You can kill 38.
So yeah, you can kill 38 because I counted it up. I'll have 4 doe tags in PA this year, plus the buck tag. So I think I counted it up. I'll have 43.
The 43 funny thing is for Maryland,
the 2 states.
For Maryland, like I'm not sure the actual average of harvest per hunter is real low though. It's like less than 3. Yeah. It's less than 3 though.
No, obviously I won't even use it anywhere close to all those stats.
Yeah,
like I'll be happy if I get one. I'll be happy if I get 1 deer in Maryland this year.
It's because the bulk.
Know what I mean?
It's the numbers are low per hunter.
Yeah.
Because the bulk of PA Outdoors Unlimited and the R2 guys haven't been down yet. That number's about to shoot way up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Is it the same format for getting doe tags in Maryland as it is Pennsylvania?
No, you get them over the counter.
No, it's just
over the counter.
You just buy your license, and it's really not even like you print out basically a harvest like report basically, and you still have to tag your deer, but like it's not quite like PA. Like it's just a small tag. You just fill out some basic info and once you buy your license, you automatically have everything paid. You just buy your license online, and you have all you're set to shoot.
You don't have to keep buying tags.
No, you can like get them at Unimart. You buy one, get one free when you buy Snickers. They just give doe tags out.
This is all new to me.
Yeah, it's all one-stop shop. You get all of your stuff right away.
But that's also why a lot of those parking lots in these hunting areas are filled with PA license plates when you pull in there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. Everyone I've talked to said there's going to be, especially early season before PA opens, there's going to be a lot of PA guys down there hunting the same pieces I'm hunting.
Wow.
Wave at them as you go by.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of flashlights blinking at you.
Yep. Yeah, probably have.
Well, that's what the beauty of a climbing stand is. Just keep on going. When in doubt, and you get flashlights. I always had to go and roll if I got blown out by a flashlight somewhere. If they're actually in there that early, I just go to any creek bed I can find a crossing.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing sometimes.
So Grant, we like to ask most of our guests if they have a bucket list. You can, since you fish and you hunt, you can either one
or both.
Is there a bucket list species or hunt or way of hunting that you have?
Money and time off work's no object.
That is a really good question. There's a lot of stuff I would love to do. Let's see. I got a few for hunting. I would love to hunt moose up in the Yukon, bow hunt moose. I would love to bow hunt either brown bear or grizzly bear someday. But I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick elk. I'd probably pick an elk trip out west in archery in September. That'd probably be my number one bucket list at this point.
That's awesome.
I actually have one of my guys going out there in September, the last week of September, with a couple of his other friends. They're going out there for I think like 10 or 12 days or something like that, and they're doing public land. They're camping out, everything. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. He's going to Montana.
They're probably canoeing it, taking a canoe trip. Now, that's cool.
That's actually doable, though. His bucket list is doable. I like it.
Yeah.
We've got things like, potato cannon guns and Australian platypus hunts and
right.
Like his bucket list hunts actually, I think he'll accomplish.
I'm still going to do that platypus hunt, but
you can't shoot a platypus with a potato gun.
No, but that's awesome. That's a good bucket list hunt.
I'd say that's my biggest one at this point. I've seen videos and TV shows of that kind of stuff, and it just looks awesome. I definitely got to do that. I definitely got to do that one of these years.
Yeah, do it before you get old.
Or before you have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Grant, to close this out, why don't you give the listeners more information on how people can follow you guys?
Yeah, for sure. Subscribe to us on YouTube for sure. That's where all our videos are. Like you guys said, we have Instagram. Follow us on there. We put a lot of pictures on there. You can keep up with what we're doing. And then we also have Facebook and Twitter. And I won't give away too many details yet, but we got some cool stuff coming up this fall. Hopefully, we're looking at launching a page where fans can subscribe to us for some exclusive content that we won't put on our other social media platforms. So, like I said, won't give away too many details on that yet, but definitely be on the lookout for that. So, yeah, we got some.
That's all under Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's all PA Outdoors Unlimited, right?
Yeah, so YouTube, it's Pennsylvania Outdoors Unlimited, and then on Instagram, we're PA Outdoors Unlimited.
Gotcha.
Yep. And then Facebook, Pennsylvania Outdoors Unlimited, and then our Twitter is POU Team.
POU Team.
Gotcha.
So definitely, definitely check us out.
Grant, this has been awesome. I can't believe you're so close to us, and I look forward to us probably more than likely getting together very soon.
There'll be some interactions here coming up.
Yeah. No, I would love to get together with you guys, and like we talked about, maybe have me come over there and do a podcast with you guys there.
Come over and do a pheasant hunt.
Yeah.
Take them down to the farm.
Yeah, we'll get you rolling something like that too if you're interested.
Sounds good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on here. It's been fun. I could honestly talk about this kind of stuff all day long. Talking about hunting, fishing and stuff.
Us too.
So this is the first podcast I've been on, but so yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been fun.
It's all downhill from here then.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grant.
Yeah,
thanks,
you.
bud.
Hey,
all right, thanks.
Hey, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
How about us?
Where can they find us?
Yeah.
Well, they can check us out at RuttenRiverPursuits.com on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just look for Rutten River Pursuits and check out the YouTube channel, Rutten River Pursuits Podcast. And then, of course, the podcast itself can be heard iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Castbox. There it is.
All right, guys.
Awesome. Thanks.
Later.
Take care.
See us.
Pretty weightless.
Yeah, there's another one, Bohemian something. I hunted that one for first day the other year, and it was pretty nice.
Okay.
Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening.
And then the other place that was Susquehanna State Park too.
Yeah.
Which is just on the other side of the river from like Elk Neck.
Right.
Just a poor boy.
I don't think I'm gonna hunt there at all. You can only hunt there Wednesday to Saturday, I think.
Okay.
From Wednesdays to Saturdays, and that's one of those places you gotta call and reserve a spot, and they only let like so many guys in each day.
Yeah.
Talk about something else with them. We don't hunt Maryland.
We got that out of it.
I like you guys pushed right through us singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Good.
That was pretty
No
good.
problem.
Now you've me off.
You guys have bonded.
We don't get invited to.
Hey, we'll
hunt
text
Maryland.
later, bud.
So, Grant,
I'm gonna steal Deke's phone and text you all his tree stand locations.